Hello and welcome to Tricks of the S-Trade channel. Today is the 24th of February 2017, and today's show we have Zac Efron. All right, now before I get into the show, I always have to say, so when you're leaving comments, sending me messages, or sending us messages in any way or form, you should know we are not against transgenders, right? Even though it's a fantasy, in all reality, it's a medical pseudoscience hoax. Because, like I always say, nothing will change the DNA structure of a male into a female. There is no hormonal treatment, no drug treatment that can change that XY DNA stamped in your blood, in your cells. Nothing can change the biology of a man into a woman. You're always going to be shaped X and Y as a man. And if you're female, you're always going to be shaped XX. Nothing you do will change that biology. You're only fighting a losing battle, because at the end of the day, your body will always remind you that you're the sex or gender you were born with. So that's not what we're against. Anybody can live a fantasy. It doesn't make it real. Anybody can live his life or her life any way or any type of way you want. It's not a place to judge. God gave us the choice to mess up your life or use it for good purposes. It's up to you to do what you want. At the end of the day, he's the judge, not me. What we are trying to show here is that there's an organized system put in place, an organized, well-oiled machine that's put in place, that's used to taking children, to transgender these babies without allowing these children to make the choice of saying, okay, I want to live this fantasy as if it's real. That is what we're against. If a grown man decides that he wants to castrate himself and put some sort of genital on and say that it's going to work like a female genital area, then that's up to him. That's his fantasy. Fantasies can never be real. You can try as much as possible to wax it and coat it and make it look beautiful, but it's never going to be real. You can build houses in the air. You have to build houses on land. So, if it's your first time of getting to this channel, right? What we are exposing and what we're trying to show you is trying to really educate you, not indoctrinate. Don't take any word we say, all right? I want you to do your own investigation. So if it's the first time that you're watching a video on this channel, I recommend that you pause this video right here. You go and look for the primer video on this channel. You watch that first. There's a document that's attached to every video that we make, which will show you the visual differences between male and female. All right? Download that document and read it. Then I recommend that you also watch the Zayn Malik video and you watch the Marilyn Monroe video on this channel before we get into. So like I've always said before, the system that's put in place, the hierarchy who runs it, is the Vatican, who runs everything else. Not just Hollywood, everything else. And when I mean that, I literally mean everything else. They own it. They run it. All right? They have been for a long, long time. If they haven't run anything yet, it's maybe because they're working on it. It's not, or maybe it's not necessary at that point for them to do a takeover. So, as I've said before, right? So now today's show, we want to get straight into it. We're gonna don't want to waste too much time. All right? We'll show you who Zac Efron is. All right? So, for some reason, my video crashed. My pictures crashed. All right? Let's try to get it back. Give me a second. All right. So this is Zac Efron. Now, if you're looking at this, right, you probably keep wondering why. I mean, because when I say everything on TV is a well-oiled machine. No matter how insignificant you think it is to you, it is significant to the people who are putting out there. It's there for a reason. Now, if you've watched the 2014 MTV, is it Children's Awards or something like that? You could just do a Google search on Zac Efron takes off his shirt, goes shirtless in at the MTV Awards or something, and you find this picture, you'll find this video. Now you have to wonder, why would Zac Efron take off his shirt? You know, way back in the day when I used to just watch TV just for watching sake, you would think that everything is just fun, they're just having fun, but they were trying to show you something. Because when you're watching TV, three things have to come into your mind. You have to ask yourself three questions, all right? One of the questions is, why now? All right? You have to ask, why is this thing on TV at this point in time? All right? That's the very first question. Why is it on now? The next question when you're watching TV, you got to ask, what is the history behind it? Right? That means what happened, what events are happening, right? That's been happening up to the point in time that you have or seeing or that you're seeing the thing on TV. The last question that you have to ask, because I think it's 4 questions, is who's the audience? Who's the target audience? Who is it trying to address? And the last and final question, the 4th question you have to ask is, of what benefit is it to you? Now, Zac Efron took off his shirt here, and prior to this, they've been working, all right? They're trying to give you a portrayal. This was like his unveiling to the elites, the people who run the system, that he is ready, or she is ready, because this is a she, right? I'm going to prove it to you in a second. Just follow me here, all right? They were trying to show that they finally, that the machine, the well-oiled machine, the system they've put in place, which takes children, before these children are able to make decisions for themselves, and forcefully making these children live in a gender that's not theirs right from birth, twisting their reality. I say this with, I don't want to lead you on, but this is heavy stuff. This is real heavy stuff. Because you're taking the choice, you're putting children in slavery. I can understand if you put a grown man in slavery, he's a grown man. But children, but these are children, right? So with Zac Efron here, like when I say all these things, I'm not trying to make fun of these people, or I'm not trying to give them a bad hair day or whatsoever. I'm trying for you to come to terms with the reality of the world that you live in. That this is happening live. It's happening even as I speak. And these people mean business. Now, take a look at Zac Efron here. You can see that he has an hourglass figure that a female has. Now, someone could say that he's wearing skinny jeans. Skinny jeans is a trend. Because when these people want to put something out there, they make sure that they have all the angles covered. They have people sitting in the room, right, to think about how they're gonna go about it. They don't just come out and do stuff. So before they want to make sure that you actually believe that the person that you're looking at is actual a sex or gender that he claims, when they're trying to play with your mind and make an illusion, they have planned it. So when the skinny jeans comes out, it's not just a trend. It was to cover up the fact so you could actually think that men wearing skinny jeans makes them look this way. Does it make sense? You're looking at a female right here. Look at the hourglass figure. Follow my mouse. Right? Now, if it's the first time you've been on this channel and you don't know, right, how a female looks like, so let me rephrase or just put some memory back into you, all right? Now, let's take a look at a picture right here. Here is a female, right? Females have an hourglass figure. Can you see that? So the question is, why do females have an hourglass figure? Let me show you something, all right? Now, this thing crashed again. So give me a second and let me rectify this. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to show you. This is a female pelvis, okay? This is a female pelvis right here, right? And the reason why females have that hourglass figure, right, is because the female pelvis is wider than a male pelvis. A male pelvis is not as wide as a female pelvis. Now, why is the female pelvis wider? It's wider because it has to have space enough to carry children when a female is pregnant. So what you're looking at right now is a female pelvis on my screen, right? And as you can see, the inside of the female pelvis, right, is very, very wide. It's much more circular in nature, all right? Another thing, the female pelvis, the reason why the female pelvis is wide is because this pubic arch right here, just follow my mouse, right? The pubic arch is wider, all right? So that a baby can come out from in here between a woman's legs through the genital area. Does it make sense? Now with men, this pubic arch is less than 90 degrees. So for the pubic arch length of a male, it would be around here and here. So that's why males' legs are closer. When the pubic arch is much more closer together, the feet, which are hung onto the hip joints around here, are much more closer. When the pubic arch is wider, as is what you're looking at right now in females, the legs are further apart. So that's why the widest part on a woman and a woman's body will always be her pelvis, and the widest part on a man will always be his shoulders. The pelvis is also shaped in a circular fashion because the pelvis is like a bucket. If you have a bucket and you're looking at the bucket from the top, all right, that's how a female pelvis, or that's how generally a female pelvis is shaped. It's circular in nature and it's tipped forward. So this would be leaning forward so that the baby doesn't fall out from here, because a straight pelvis, the baby could fall out right through. Does it make sense? All right. Now, the muscular nature, then the female pelvis also has a lot of muscles, right? It's different from the male pelvis. Now, this muscles is needed, is a requirement so that the female can push the baby through out here. Does it make sense? That's why females have a lot of, pelvic strength, much more stronger than a man, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the subject of looking at Mr. I will call him Miss right now, Zac Efron. As you can see, Zac Efron has an hourglass figure, right? So the deception here, or the illusion they're trying to play with your mind, is that because what they'll say is because he's wearing skinny jeans, that's why he looks this way. But no. It doesn't matter the skinny jeans. If a man wore the skinny jeans, this would still be straight. It wouldn't be curving into an hourglass figure. So actually, you females thinking that you're looking at a male, you're actually looking at a female who's gone through testosterone treatment, been made to lift weights, and looking like a dude. I'm sorry to say that, but this is what it is. This is the world we live in. This is very real. All right, let's go further. All right, here's another picture of Zac Efron before he got bulked up to the way he is now. As you can see, you can still see the hourglass figure right here. He's got hips, right? A man should not have hips. Now, I'm not sure what's hanging in there, because from where the weight's hanging is not hanging right. Does it make sense? All right, see that hourglass figure? That's the hourglass figure of a female. All right, this is not a genetically born male. This is a kid that was probably manufactured in a lab, put inside a woman's womb, born, and then transgendered, mutilated, right? Okay, Let's go further. Some more pictures. Here is still the same picture, but I'm letting you show that. The curve, the hips. Can you see all that? Can you see all the hip action now? That you're looking at a female, not a dude. That's why he looks so pretty. And you be like, wow, guys ain't pretty. We're rugged around the edges. We fit into squares and triangles on all shapes and angles. But look at this beautiful, fine figure that this dude is presenting to you. He is female. Zac Efron is a woman. Some more pictures. Can you still see the hourglass figure right there? Can you see that? You're looking at a female. All right, let's go further. Can you still see the hourglass figure? Now he's being bulked up, right? Because by now he's getting ready to play the movie called Baywatch. So they've been working on him because one of the tricks of trying to make a female look like a male is that they gotta bulk you up because the shoulders are way too short. And someone looking at you is gonna notice that this guy has really narrow shoulders. So what they do is try to build the lat muscles, the muscles between that's under the armpits. So when this grows huge or bigger, right, it's gonna give the appearance that the shoulders are much more wider, especially when he wears a t-shirt or a shirt. Does it make sense? But look at the hips. Because one of the defining features is that, like I said, it's a hoax. You can't change the biology of the gender that someone was born with. Your body stamped at birth. Your body stamped right from the time the sperm fertilizes the egg with the type of sex that you're going to be born with. It can't change. So whatever else you do is cosmetic. It's just like a female putting on some, lip gloss on her mouth or some makeup. It's cosmetic. The biology doesn't change. When you go to a hospital to get treated, you still be treated as a male because once the doctor puts you under his microscope, he's going to know you're male and he's going to treat you like a male or treat you like a female. Does it make sense? It's a hoax. Look at the hips. Again, on Miss Zac Efron. Okay, let's go further. Now with men, usually, a man from the side is going to have more of his back width showing, right? With Zac Efron, this is not showing. I recommend that you look at the document, but if you don't, let me just give you a preview of it. See that back width right there? Right? Let me show that to you again. The shoulders are going to sit so right inside such that the back is going to be protruding outside. With Zac Efron here, you don't see that. It's closer together, showing you that you're looking at a female. All right? Let's go further. Look at the hourglass figure right here. This is when he's starting to get bulked up to give you the presentation that you're looking at a dude, but you're looking at a female. You see that hourglass? Look at the wide hips. Can you see that? Look at the wide hips right there. You're looking at a female. All right? Another picture. Same picture again, but I was just trying to prove more points. Okay? Another picture. Look at that hourglass and look at the hips. Look at what we call the Q angle, right? If you don't know what a Q angle is, let me show you what I mean, all right? Let me show you what I mean. Now, the Q angle is the angle between the hip, right, and the knee. In males, the Q angle is very, very small. So that's why when in females, the Q angle is very, very acute. So that's the reason females have a lot of more, their upper thighs are more developed than their hamstrings. So then that's why you see that beautiful round thigh of a female, right? Because the upper thigh here is more developed than the hamstrings behind. In male, it's more balanced. It's the same amount of balance. The quadriceps and the hamstrings are developed like the same. It's balanced. One is not more developed than the other. Does it make sense? So it's the Q angle in females is more acute. So when a female walks, you're gonna see more of that angle as well. And that's what you find right here on Miss Zac Efron. That's what I call him. All right? Zac Efron is a female. He has hips. All right? And so that's the last picture that we have on the show today. I advise you to subscribe and stay tuned and keep studying and reading and making your mind to be alert. Don't just believe everything that everybody tells you. Even what we say, investigate it. Think about it and see if it logically makes sense. Don't lay down. Don't submit to what you've been told. Have a mind of your own. Okay? Thank you and bye bye.